Hello, and thank you for listening to my podcast. My inaugural podcast, I have my wife on. It took a few drinks of whiskey in order to get her to agree to this. I didn't tell her what we were going to talk about, so it was a bit of a surprise. She handled it pretty well, but my lovely wife, Rebecca, is agreed to participate kindly. So enjoy. There's some important stuff I wanted to talk to you about, and it's been a while that's been on my mind, and I just figured we'll share it. I'll share it with you like this. It's a safe space.
Well, now I'm scared.
There's nothing. It's serious, but nothing scary.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So Mary Poppins, you know Mary Poppins, right?
Yes.
And you know Lisa from Weird Science, right?
Yes.
I think that they're the same type of deity.
Okay.
So, like, they could be related.
Uh-huh.
So they're the same, say, type of angel, right? They're not the same. And I have my arguments why they're not the same. Their personalities are very different. But I think they're the same type of deity.
Okay.
So, Mary Poppins takes place in 1910. She shows up out of nowhere. Actually, she shows up right after a violent windstorm that blows away the other nanny applicants.
Right.
We don't know what happens to those ladies.
They're dead.
They're gone, right? Okay. So then she shows up. Lisa from Weird Science shows up, what? After a bizarre physics twisting storm, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
But Lisa's a hoe.
Their arrivals. As far as we know, Lisa and Mary Poppins only sleep with the same amount of people in each movie. 0. Also, for my research, it's research.
Uh-huh.
I only watched the movies. I didn't take in any bizarre fan theory like Mary Poppins is actually the same thing as a creature it, or she's a reformed witch, and I didn't watch the Weird Science TV show. So we're just going from the 1964 Mary Poppins movie and just from the 1985 Weird Science movie.
Okay.
That's it. So the power set. This is how they're the same. They're the same type of thing. They're not people, obviously. Although it's hinted at with Mary Poppins, right? Like maybe she's just special. She's a person. No, that bitch is magical. She was living on a cloud. Okay, so Mary Poppins, we know she can talk to dogs. She can fly. Probably only with the umbrella, though.
Yes.
Telekinesis. Right? She's snap your fingers, pick up your room. What kind of lesson is that? If you could snap your fingers and clean up your room, that's not the point. The point is that you make the mess and you also have to do the work.
No, but it's fun.
Okay. Yeah. That's a Spoonful of Sugar song too, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I already mentioned talking to dogs, the flying with the help of the umbrella. This one's, I think these two are kind of related. I think they do with dimension hopping. Okay, so we all know she goes into that chalk drawing that Bert, who is also magical, I believe, drew. And when she gets there, it's also kind of like it's a different dimension. Like those people have lives outside of Mary Poppins and the kids and Bert. It feels like there's something, like that race was already in motion before they showed up and she won, even though she didn't run the whole race, right?
Right.
Okay, so I think that's more, they jumped into a two-dimensional universe maybe. Part of the multiverse was just two-dimensional.
Yeah.
Okay. And talking to dogs, I got that. Oh, also her carpet bag. This is the only other really magical thing she has. The carpet bag she's able to pull things out of.
Yeah.
But when the kids look in the bag, there's nothing in it.
Right.
So it's not a TARDIS where it's bigger on the inside.
No, it's like a bottomless pit.
She's reaching into a different dimension. I think that carpet bag's a pocket dimension and bringing it forth.
Okay.
Or you can argue that maybe she's just creating out of thin air, which is very similar to Lisa. But we'll get back to that. So that's not her power. She's not very powerful. Oh, and I forgot the most used power of Mary Poppins is gaslighting. Do something fantastical, magical, and then say it never happened and you would never do that.
Yeah.
She does that a lot. Okay.
A respectable person like me in a horse race? How dare you suggest such a thing? First of all, I would like to make one thing quite clear.
Yes?
I never explain anything.
So that's it for Mary Poppins.
Okay.
We'll go to Lisa. Lisa's power is basically to create whatever she wants, whenever she wants.
Okay.
She creates cars, clothes. She turns people into shit. She,
But it's very vain. It's all done in vain.
well, I guess we should preface this. Okay, so Mary Poppins, we have to believe that her arrival was to help the Banks children.
Right.
And in Weird Sciences kind of thing, I think Lisa arrives to help Gary and Wyatt.
But what is she helping them with?
That's the thing. I think it's very Mary Poppins-ish in a way, because I don't think the boys create her. I think they summon her.
Right.
Now, because the Banks children summon Mary Poppins through the ad they create that their father tears up and throws in the chimney.
Yeah.
Somehow that gets to Mary Poppins and summons her. I think the boys don't create Lisa, even though she says it over and over again. I think they summon her. Hence all the electricity and the magical storm that brings her about.
Okay.
So in that way, they're similar. They show up and they help children. And what was your criticism of Lisa?
Oh, she was vain.
Mary Poppins isn't?
Mary Poppins isn't trying to get children laid. She's trying to get their parents to pay attention to them and for them to do things and have fun.
They're 15, 16-year-old boys. But what Lisa does, yes, she helps them get laid. But they learn that they have to achieve things to be attractive to women.
Barely.
They fought off a motorcycle gang.
True.
So now, we're gentlemen, so we're gonna give you a choice.
Yeah, you can leave in peace.
Or you can stay and die.
That's pretty badass, right? And it's also, yes, it is the 80s, so it's very shallow and vain. Think about Back to the Future, came out the same year, right? What was Marty's dream? To own a big truck and go.
Right. But it was still very risque for the 80s.
Yeah, for John Hughes, I think this is like the most sexual. Like, it's really out there.
Right.
Oh yeah, by the way, Weird Science is a John Hughes movie and takes place in the same city in Illinois, Shermer. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah.
I think, isn't Ferris? Everybody's there. Okay. So the only reason why they're really related is because of what they do. They show up and they do the job, and they both just fuck off.
Right.
It's never really explained why Lisa has to leave. She just says, I have to go. And the boys don't even question her because they're so hyped up on the new girlfriends they just got, which teenage boys, I can get that.
Yeah.
And they only knew her for a weekend.
True.
Mary Poppins, we don't know how long she's around, but it seems like a really short amount of time.
Long enough for her to have off day, because there was an off day in the movie.
I feel like it's just a week.
Yeah.
Like maybe a week, not anything longer. So, does it make sense that they're the same type of person?
Yes.
It's been argued that they might be the same person, and that is dumb. One, because Lisa doesn't really gaslight. If she does gaslight, it's telling them that they can do whatever they want, but while forcing them into situations they're uncomfortable with.
I think it's funny that this is what you chose to do your podcast on.
So she pushed Mary Poppins. I can do a whole thing on Mary Poppins. I don't know what she really does because Dick Van Dyke's character Bert is really the motivator. He was the only one really necessary.
Right, and who the hell is he?
I think he saw some magical. I think he summons Mary Poppins, but because of that is because the kid's note was in the chimney and he's a chimney sweep, and then somehow
Right.
Mary Poppins the very next day ends up with the kid's note that their father threw in the fireplace.
But we see that there are several chimney sweeps that can all do the same thing pretty much that Bert does.
A lot of dancing.
Yes, a lot of dancing.
Looks a little gay. Anyway,
Agreed.
So the reason why I don't think they're the same is mainly because of the gaslighting. And if it is a creature that you summon in your time of need, these are very privileged people.
Right.
These are not, Lisa and Mary Poppins are not showing up to help the most impoverished, right? They're not making it so some child doesn't need the heart surgery.
Right.
They show up to privileged people and make their lives a little better. So in that way, they're kind of weak, but
Yeah, because why are they helping real people?
I'm going off of that. Okay,
Yeah, let's get on with it.
Okay. So, they both come in through electrical storms. They both just bug off after a very short amount of time. Lisa's very upset by leaving. The Mary Poppins doesn't a little bothered. She confides in her talking parrot umbrella
Right.
that she's a little bothered by it, and then they just leave. The only difference is with Lisa, she becomes a gym teacher at the boys' high school, which
Yeah.
I don't know how she's going to explain to them on Monday, but whatever. So, does it make sense?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, so we're agreed.
Yes.
But they're not the same.
I would be the same type,
Right.
but not the same person.
The same type of demon, not the same demon.
Yes.
All right. Sorry, I had to get.
I think I'm going to need a little of that.
Anyway, now an even more important question. Which one would you rather have sex with, Mary Poppins or Lisa? Now,
Can I do both?
You can no, and you can't go based on which one you find more attractive. Another thing I forgot to bring up: they both have English accents. One, because Julie Andrews, I think, is English. Two, Kelly LeBrock, who played Lisa, was born in New York but raised in England, and
What?
they're both brunette with blue eyes.
I'm going to say Lisa because she's a freak. And she pretty much told those boys she would do whatever the hell they wanted.
Right.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Mary Poppins, on the other hand, while attractive, I don't think it would be any
I
good.
think she's going to tell you the correct way to do it.
It's going to be like missionary, and you're
Right.
probably still going to have clothes on.
Yeah.
And also, like, since it's 1910 England, she's not even know that women can have orgasms.
Oh, yeah. True that. You'd be working for nothing.
So, and also, it's 1980s and 1910. They both probably have some body hair, but Mary Poppins has even more, I bet.
Right.
And
yeah.
Kelly I know you're not supposed to go based on but you're right. Lisa's a freak.
She's a freak.
She's the one that would be better in bed. And even if you were bad at it,
You just go, hey, I want to do this, and she's going to do it.
yeah, and I think even if you were bad at it, she'd make you bet. She'd tell you what you're messing up with along the way.
Yeah.
She'd put you in a position where you could still come out,
Agreed.
All right. See, it wasn't that bad.
No.
I have 16 pages of notes. I've watched Mary Poppins 3 times in a row and Weird Science twice.
I'm leaving you.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.